Hi and hello, Eagles fans, and welcome to this presentation of TCC Baseball. William Haynes alongside Brett Rutherford for Game 2 of this doubleheader between your Eagles coming into this contest at 13-5 on the year, going up against the Chattahoochee Valley Community College Pirates. They have split this series thus far, the Eagles winning on Friday by a score of 11-4, and Chattahoochee Valley winning the game just moments ago by a score of 6-4. So this game 3 is for all the marbles as far as this series victory is concerned. And Brett, the man on the mound for the Eagles today, Braden Halliday, is a bit of a bumpy start to his season, but had his longest start of the year and his best pitching appearance of the year in his last time out.
Yeah, came out really strong against the Thomas University JV squad, pitched 5 innings and gave up just 1 run, pounded the strike zone, let those hitters put balls in plays and let his defense make plays behind him. We've seen what this TCC defense is capable of, and I think that's going to be the same exact objective here against Chattahoochee Valley.
Start things off against the lefty Jared White, who had a home run in Game 1. And after that pitch inside, we are underway. White, the DH, is leading off Game 2, batted second in the order, going 2 for 3 with a walk in Game 1. The 1-0 from Halliday is slapped on the ground right to the second baseman, Makai Johnson. Well, not right to him. He made a diving play and couldn't get it as it trickles into right field for a leadoff single. Put a base runner on for the Pirates, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Brant Dearman.
Yeah, going over that line from Halliday's start on Monday, it was actually one unearned run. He gave up, or no, he actually shut out Thomas University. I was looking at the wrong column. It's the hit column. Struck out 2, walked 1, and started that 6th inning before ultimately making way for the bullpen. It was Grant Harrison who came in behind him and threw 2 innings to finish off that 4-0 victory.
That one to Corizon, outside gloved by him. So the defensive alignment is a little bit different in Game 2. Outfield left to right, Dingus, Pagozo, Mitchum is in the second game, and then in the infield, Fernandez, Makoski, Johnson, Gwynn from third to first. Jared Cruz comes out at second base, replaced by Makai Johnson. Corizon is behind the plate for game number 2. That one runs inside.
Oh, called for a strike.
There you go. Not often you get the guy, turning away from the plate and a called strike, but there it is. Dearman batted in the middle of the order, went 4 for 4. So here he is with a man on base. Eagles looking to retire him for the first time on this Saturday afternoon. That one low, blocked in the dirt by Ethan Corizon. 2 balls, 1 strike to count.
If you look when Dearman steps back in, he is really crowding that plate. His hands hanging right over the middle of the plate. If I'm Halliday right now, I am throwing the ball right at his hands. I'm not saying trying to hurt the guy or trying to hit him, but you're throwing it right at his hands because they're right there over the plate.
We saw the Pirates start to throw into some Eagles as well. Got a strike called on the inside.
And I think you're seeing this home plate umpire give Halliday that inside corner, knowing that Dearman is stepping right up on there. You see Dearman exchange a couple of words there with the umpire. Maybe he's saying, listen, kid, you're right on top of the plate.
Braden Halliday looking for the put-away in the first out of this ball game. Here's the pitch, and put on the ground. The shortstop, Smakoski, has it, goes to second for 1, and goes to first for 2. There's that double play ball. Leadoff single erased. It goes 6-4-3 for the first couple of outs of this game.
And this was the recipe for Halliday in his last start. You know you've got Smakoski, now Makai Johnson, who we know can fill in and play a nice second base, and Andrew Fernandez over at third. Let these guys make the plays. Let these guys just field those grounders, throw it to first, just avoid that hard contact. You don't need the strikeout stuff today.
Heegman, the first baseman, now steps in from the left side. That one, a strike on the outside part. So whether it's a lefty or righty at the plate, Halliday's been able to hit that spot pretty consistently. Heegman, 2 for 3 in game 1 with a couple of doubles, including a bases clearing double in the first. If you are just joining us and did not catch game 1, there's a strike called once more. And now Halliday's 1 strike away from what will become, hopefully, a dominant opening inning. one put foul down the first base side, so we'll stay where we are, which is 0-2.
I know, we're only on the third batter of this game, but it's the same home plate umpire from game one. They didn't switch. The zone already feeling pretty different than the one that was called in today's first contest.
That one, breaking ball, a little bit low. Marsh on deck, getting loose. It'll be Zmikowski, Mitchum, Pagozzo, and the Eagles first. Here's the 1-2 delivery. That one high in the air. The right fielder, Mitchum, is going to take a couple of steps back and makes the catch right in front of the warning track out in right field to end the top of the first. A leadoff single erased by a double play. You're watching Eagles baseball on TCC Eagles. Zmikowski will get things started in the Eagle first. The lineup today is Zmikowski, Mitchum, Pagozzo, Gwynn, Dinges, Kreisen, Fernandez, Absher, Johnson. First one to Zmikowski is high. The starter for the Pirates in game two, the southpaw Cade Mitchell. He's working quick from the third base side of the rubber. Comes home for strike one. That break-even pitch misses outside. Zmikowski, a great on-base type of guy. Was 1 for 3 in game one with the walk, but got on base on an E4 to start things off. That one high once more. Came into the day with a .317 average and a team-leading 63 at-bats. Plays a terrific defensive shortstop as well. That one missing high, ball 4, and a leadoff walk for Jason Zmikowski. And that will bring in Dave Mitchum. Starting in right field today. Pinch hit in the late stages of game number 1. And here he is. Will play probably a full 7 today. This season, 24 at-bats, .292 batting average. The first pitch to him shows bunt, pulls back.
We saw the same thing game 1, right? Zmikowski reached base, and they had Justin Cruz bunt him over. It looks like that's the plan here for Dave Mitchum.
This is a team in TCC that knows exactly who they are and what they want to do. Pulls back the bunt again. Pulls back, does Mitchum, but that one will be called a strike. About 84 degrees, your temperature at first pitch. Not many a cloud in the sky. Shadows starting to creep in a little bit by the end of the game. That will be more drastic. Throw to first. Sliding back in is Makoski. So that is the challenge as opposed to game one. You've got the lefty starting things off. If you want to try and get a head start off of first base, he's staring you right down. The 2-1 shows bunt and does put it into play, and it gets past the pitcher, and Mitchum is going to be safe. So how's that for a bunt over? Mitchum gets on. So Makoski moves to second, and now you've got a couple of runners on with nobody out.
And that's always the threat, whether it's Cruz or Mitchum, the two fastest guys on this team. If you put it down in the right spot, it gives you a much better chance of getting a hit than probably swinging away does. Make their defense make a play. You know, if it doesn't work out, you get the sacrifice. And while I may disagree with that, we'll take the base hit, right? We want the base hit. We want more runners on. And another opportunity here for Josh Pagozzo.
The great Josh Pagozzo batting .429 coming into today, and on base over 500. Takes that first one low.
Yeah, now three first pitches to Eagle batters. Missing for a ball for Cade Mitchell. Struggling to find the strike zone here early on.
Both teams using only 2 pitchers each in game number 1. Eagles have a doubleheader on Monday, so they can't necessarily empty the tank. That 1-0 pitch is low in the dirt, blocked by the catcher, Purdue.
And I really like the type of arms TCC has in their bullpen. You've got plenty of relievers that you can rely on for 2, 3, and as you saw, Hunter Paris threw 4 1/3 in that game to really eat up those innings. It doesn't matter whether you're starting or coming in out of the pen, being able to eat up those outs.
Hitters count. It's 2-0 to Pagozzo, and a strike called on the outside part. Hunter Paris, who went 4 1/3 in game 1, he's been used exclusively in long relief. The starter getting his first start of the year, Campbell Cleveland, went 2 2/3.
Paris did a really good job keeping the team in the game.
Now a 2-1 pitch upcoming. That one misses outside, and for the Eagles side of things, for the Pirates side of things rather, Zach Smith, the starter, going 4, and the great Wesley Hancock came in for the final 3 innings of the ball game and looked untouchable.
I think it's really important for TCC to pick up a run here. The entirety of the last game they were trailing. It would be nice to draw first blood.
A great chance here on 3-1, missing outside. And the Eagles have ducks on the pond with nobody out in this first inning. Two walks, a bunt single. Now the cleanup hitter, Brett Gwynn, at the plate, the switch hitter. So he'll be standing in from the right side. Only 21 at-bats in 10 games in the field. .286 average. Has been somewhat splitting time with Makai Johnson over at first. But Makai has played second a couple of times, and he'll move over there today. So a rare time where Gwynn and Johnson are both in the lineup. First pitch to Gwynn in there. Drops for strike 1.
If I'm Brett Gwynn, I'm taking a big hack. We know the type of power he's got standing in there at 6'7". You got the matchup here as a switch hitter.
That one evens the count at 1-1.
I know the old adage is just put one in play. We don't need a home run. But, you know, there's nobody out. You got guys behind you that can put one in play. I'd like to see him let one rip here.
Gwynn homered against this team last night. That one outside. And while I agree, yeah, he'd love to take a big swing. Hey, if Cade Mitchell's not going to throw this guy strikes, a bases loaded walk, you can't complain with that either.
I'm thinking now as you get more ahead in the count, that next pitch that is in the zone might be a meatball.
That one inside, gets away from the catcher, but not far enough where the runners can advance. And so on 3-1, Cade Mitchell is on the brink of walking in the first run of this game. Will Brett Gwynn be swinging here? He does not, and a strike called to bring the count full. The payoff pitch misses, ball 4, and a run walks in to score. Eagles now lead 1-0.
Yeah, 3 walks for Cade Mitchell here in this first inning, yet to record an out. Just an absolute nightmare start. And you have to wonder how quickly you'll see somebody start to warm in that Chattahoochee Valley bullpen.
Only burned up 2 guys in game number 1, or of today rather. On Friday, they used a slew of guys, 3 guys out of the bullpen. That first one misses to Marco Dinges. Dinges on the year, 316 and 57 at-bats, 5 doubles. That one is laced and gets through the left side of the infield. 1 run scores. Here comes another. The throw not nearly in time. A 2 RBI single for Marco Dinges makes it a 3-0 game.
Yeah, even though with Mitchell having a hard time finding the strike zone, you know when one does find the zone, it's probably going to be a good pitch to hit. You know, you're going to be patient if he's not throwing you the strikes, but if he is, come out swinging. Let's put it on him here in the first inning.
In game number 1 of today, Eagles scored 4 runs in inning number 2 and had nothing outside of that. Here they are pouring it on in inning number 1 of game 2. That one misses outside to the catcher, Ethan Kreisen. He'll be the backstop for this one.
Now you do have another lefty warming up in that Pirate bullpen.
Might be the same one that we saw warming up in the last game. That one is called a strike. The break-even pitch to Kreisen drops in for strike number 2. That one blocked in the dirt by the catcher, Purdue. Evens the count once more. Kreisen appearing in 13 of the team's 18 games to this point. 353 average. That one high in the air. The center fielder Lee comes in. He'll make the catch. Runner tags. That's Gwynn trying to go down to third. Throw cut off. And not in time. So now runners at the corners with 1 out. And it will be Andrew Fernandez.
Yeah, Fernandez sliding a little bit further down in the lineup than he has been. He's been stuck right there in the middle of things for TCC. But, you know, with the way that almost every guy in this lineup is hitting, it doesn't really matter where you put him. You know, Josh Pagozzo is going to be probably in the 3-hole. Jason Smakowski leading things off. But other than that, move some guys around. You know, almost everybody is hitting right now in this lineup.
Yeah, it's definitely not a performance thing. Andrew Fernandez hitting his first home run of the year, or actually his second home run of the year in game number 1. Tries to bunt there, but it goes foul. So he's doing just fine. But as you said, I mean, with the 9 guys that you have in the game, you really can't go wrong in just about any order you put them in.
Are you shocked about the bunt decision there? Up 3-0 with runners on the corners and 1 out?
If it was anyone other than Fernandez, I would say yes, but it seems like this is something they like to do with him at the plate. There's a strike called to take the bunt, play out a possibility. But yeah, with runners in the corners and 1 out, not the craziest thing. That one runs inside to him. I think maybe another thing to consider as well, the errors against Chattahoochee in this series, just trying to put as much stress on them as possible, having to field the ball and play. That one is fouled out of play. Here's another 1-2, missing outside. Purdue getting upstairs to get that one and keep it in front. Gwynn, 90 feet from home, would be more than happy to scamper in, but instead it will be a 2-2 pitch upcoming to Fernandez. Here it is from Mitchell. Gets away from the catcher this time. Gwynn is going to come in. Didn't just thought about going all the way to third, but he'll stop at second base. So one of the more anticlimactic wild pitches you'll see brings in a run. I mean, Gwynn could have walked into home plate. Runner at second with one out this time, and a swing and a miss for Fernandez as he's out on strikes. But a run did score during his at-bat, so you at least get some production there. And now that will bring up Caleb Absher, the DH, hitting today in the 8-hole. First one inside, pushes Absher off the plate a little bit. He went 1 for 3 in game number 1. Big cut and a miss there. One of a couple of primary guys that are hitting under that 200 mark.
What's that 200 mark called, William?
I'm not familiar. Is there a nickname that is used for that?
Well, it's debatable.
That one missing outside. Because I've heard the Mendoza line used before, but as far as I know, that might be an incorrect usage of that term.
Who's to say?
Here's the 2-1. Outside again. And there's no question that Cade Mitchell has had a hard time settling into this game. Outside again, ball 4. Absher heads on down to first base. And that is walk number 4 of this opening inning. And now the 9th Eagle to come to the plate here, Makai Johnson, playing second base today with runners at first and second. And I'll ask you this, Brett, and I talked to Max Rundy, who I called softball with yesterday. When you say hitting around, do you think 9 or 10 hitters coming to the plate?
10.
Okay.
That's an easy answer. Because nothing has come around yet. We've hit through the order. They have not yet batted around.
Everything that I've seen is that there is some debate, but you said it with such strong conviction that I think I'm just going to have to take your word for it.
Yeah, no, that's the right answer.
That one low, blocked in the dirt by Purdue.
I'm sure we'll debate many things throughout the season here on TCCEagles.com, both over at the softball field and here at Eagle Field, but that's not one of them. I'm locked in. That is just, yeah, you got to send 10 to the plate. I think a big at-bat here for Makai Johnson. You're facing Mitchell, who's not settled into this game. His struggles have been well documented. And if Johnson can put one in play here, we'll see what happens.
Hacks and misses there to bring the count to 2 strikes. Hitting at 115 and 26 at-bats. has found himself pushed out of the order a little bit by Brett Gwynn, but he has an opportunity here to put himself back in better graces as he fouls that one back.
You know what?
Opening day starter for the Eagles in the lineup was Mekhi Johnson. Got a chance with a couple of runners on and 2 outs. 4 runs have already scored and misses at that one for strike 3. Another punch out for Cade Mitchell, and that one ends the inning, but not before. 9 Eagles come to the plate, 4 of them scoring through 1 full. Eagles up 4-0. You're watching Eagles Baseball on tcceagles.com and YouTube. Was like, and we're back here at Eagle Field, top of the second, and I pass things off to my broadcast partner, Brett Rutherford.
Well, Eagles scored 4 in the bottom of the first, but only off of 2 hits. Cade Mitchell walking 4 batters in his first inning of work, and now back to Braden Halliday. First pitch swinging is Hunter Marsh and sends one to the right side of field and out of play, so foul ball will be strike 1. Halliday gave up a leadoff single to Jared White, but then got Brant Dearman to ground into a 6-4-3 double play before getting Heegman to fly out to right to retire the side. Now he's up 0-1 in the count to Marsh. Game 1, Marsh went 0 for 3. Did reach on a catcher's interference, and also on an error in the first. Remember that ball that got by Justin Cruz. So now 0-2 the count to Hunter Marsh. Just off the outside part of the plate, so ball 1. Florida State softball finishing off a win against Indiana earlier today. Down the road, I'll have some score updates on FAMU baseball in a little bit. Florida State baseball currently leading Samford 3-0. That one misses low to Marsh, so evens the count at 2.
Knowles put up a touchdown last night, I believe 7-0 the victory over the Bulldogs.
They sure did. Also try to get some updates on TCC softball, who are on the road taking on Andrew College today. That one fouled back and just over the netting. So count stays at 2-2. Nobody on, nobody out. That one sent into left field towards Dingus, and he falls to his knees, but ultimately makes the catch. Don't know if he tripped or thought maybe he was going to have to lean out for that one, but the out counts all the same.
Something about the corner outfields on this roster that love to make catches with a flourish. Always exciting, whether diving, falling to his knees, was Dingus there, keeping things entertaining here at Eagle Field.
First pitch to Jalen Fullwood, who's starting in Game 2, did not appear in Game 1. And then chops this one foul. So 1-1 the count, 1 out. This one just off for ball 2. This one hit hard and past the diving Smikowski, and Jalen Fullwood reaches base with a single.
Yeah, in the games that we've watched of his, Braden Halliday definitely a ground ball guy. We've seen a couple of in the air, but that one on the ground, and as you said, just out of the diving grasp of Smikowski. Got a double play ball in the first, so as long as you kind of stay with that trend, you should be okay with the defense behind him.
FAMU currently tied 3-3 in Atlanta at the HBCU Classic. Took down Grambling State last night. I'm just taking a look at these batting practice t-shirts they're wearing, and they're absolute heat. Runner is going, cries and throws down. It gets past the second baseman Johnson, but Fullwood's in there safely with a stolen base.
I was at the softball game at FSU when FAMU was there, and all I heard in the crowd was people ranting and raving about those softball uniforms. So something about FAMU, they just know how to work the uniform game.
The first LeBron-branded school in the country. They've got a lot of great stuff. Pitch into Corey Lee, cut on and missed. So the count 0-2 now. Halliday set and delivers. This one on the ground right into the glove of Halliday. He'll walk it all the way over to Gwynn before tossing it to him for out number 2. Fullwood stays put at second base, and now that'll bring up third baseman Braden Pelkey.
Braden versus Braden battle. Spellings are different, but I doubt you see that too much.
Halliday looks back forward, but he does have 2 outs in the inning. First pitch misses outside to Pelkey. That one fouled back by Pelkey. Makes the count 1-1. Hit on the ground, and it gets past the glove of Fernandez. Fullwood's going to come around to try and score. Dinges' throw is a little bit to the left and gets by Kreisen. Pelkey singles and advances to second base on the throw. Fullwood comes around to score to get one back for Chattahoochee Valley. So that'll make it a 4-1 game with the catcher Brody Purdue. That was a tough hop for Fernandez, and ultimately just couldn't get over to put his body in front of it.
We talked about it on the single from Fullwood, kind of another one from Pelkey, that ground ball that just sneaks through the left side. Anytime you're a ground ball pitcher, luck does play a factor, what exact spot it's hit to. Halliday still looking for his first strikeout, 5 outs into this game.
And that one in and hits the Pirates catcher. So they'll have 2 men on and 2 men out for Brendan York. York went 1 for 3 with a double in game 1. Scored the 6th and ultimately final run for Chattahoochee Valley. The insurance run they never needed. Eagles put up 4 to make it a 5-4 game in the second, but couldn't add any other offense. Walking through the bleachers in between games, I got that smell of sunscreen. That sun is out. Got some warm weather, and maybe for the first time this year, that sunscreen probably really necessary here at Eagle Field. First pitch fouled back into the netting.
Some umbrellas, too. There's different ways. There's, more than one way to cook an omelet, whatever the saying is.
Yeah, I see. Well, I guess more than one way to prevent yourself from being turned into an omelet or a fried egg sitting out here in the bleachers. We're up here in the press box, and while, the air conditioning might not keep us fully cool, at least we're not getting hit by the sun, right? We got this roof above our heads. We're protected from the elements. That one misses, so that'll bring the count to 1-1. Again, the Chattahoochee Valley Pirates have 2 men on and 2 outs here. In the top of the second, they've added their first run of the game to cut their deficit to just 3. Eagles scored 4 on just 2 hits in the bottom of the first. Pirates starter Cade Mitchell walked 4 in that first frame. Halliday deals. It misses outside, so count goes to 2-1 to the number 9 hitter. Set and delivers. Called, strike 2. Two count, 2 outs, 2 on here in the top of the second. The pitch to the second baseman, Brendan York, misses for a ball. So now count goes full. Runners will be moving on the pitch. Here it is. So into the air, Gwynn moving into foul territory and comes down with it to retire the side. So 1 run on 2 hits. No errors, 2 left. We head to the bottom of the second here on TCCEagles.com. So it is Cade Mitchell back on the bump for Chattahoochee Valley after a rough first inning for the lanky southpaw. But he'll get a fresh start here. And in some ways, it'll be the top of the order and nobody on, nobody out. So, he's working with a 4-1 deficit, but maybe a chance to get things going here for Cade Mitchell.
Yeah, part of an approach maybe he didn't like. He can reset. He had 4 walks in that opening inning.
It'll be Smikowski, who walked, came around to score in that first inning. All 4 of the first 4 batters in the Eagle lineup scored last inning. Hits were recorded by Dave Mitchum and Marco Dinges. So 2-0 the count already to Smikowski. And maybe not the start that Mitchell had in mind for the second inning here either. This one is called for a strike though, however. Two-one pitch outside, 3-1 the count now. There's that pitch. Called strike 2. Count goes full. Smikowski patient at the plate. Bat hasn't left the shoulders yet in this at-bat. And he is rung up on strikes. The one that was called the ball earlier. Apparently this time caught the outside part of the plate. So Mitchell works back into that count after going down 2-0 to get Smikowski looking.
How'd you like that strike 3 call from the home plate umpire?
I don't know if I liked it, but anything that goes against the Eagles, I'm not really, into that sort of thing. But who knows? Maybe it did. That'll bring up Dave Mitchum, who swings and misses at the first pitch. And now this one misses low. Mitchum singled and scored back in the first inning. This one he sends into center field. Lee tracking back and underneath it for out number 2. So 2 quick outs for Mitchell. Bringing up Josh Pagozzo, who walked and scored. Pagozzo going 0 for 4 in game 1, an atypical performance, but did make a really nice play at the warning track in center, and also made a great throw into Justin Cruz, which led to Cruz throwing out Brant Dearman at home. He takes first pitch for a ball. So even when he's not contributing as much as he normally does at the plate, he adds to the game defensively. This one outside, 2-0 the count now. Now sends this one right at the third baseman, Pelkey. Fields it cleanly over to first, and a 1-2-3 inning for Cade Mitchell. Night and day from that first inning of work from Mitchell. Eagles still lead 4-1. We head to the third on TCCEagles.com and YouTube. Into the third inning, Braden Halliday on the mound trying to protect a 4-1 lead, and I'll throw it back over to William Haynes to take over play-by-play duties.
Thank you, Brett. Jared White, 1-for-1 with a single, was erased by a double play. The next batter. That first one is right over the head of the second baseman, Mekhi Johnson, and bouncing into shallow right field for a leadoff single. It's kind of carbon copy there. Bloop single by the leadoff man, Jared White, and now hopefully another double play ball from Brent Dearman, the second baseman, now stepping in.
Brent Dearman, for as good of a day as he's having, he has had some pretty, I wouldn't call them mistakes, but pretty costly outs. You had thrown out twice on the base paths in game one, and even though his team went on to win that game 6-4, then grounded into a double play after a leadoff single from Jared White in the first.
Tees up on that one, the right fielder Mitchum coming in and makes a catch running to his left for out number one. So he's been tested out there having a run a little bit out and right. And now with one on and one out, the first baseman Paul Heegman flew out to Mitchell in his first time. First offering called a strike on the outside part. So a lot of contact. First time through the order for the Pirates. No strikeouts still to this point for Halliday. A hit by pitch mixed in there as well. Here's the 0-1. And that one slapped through the right side, right to Mitchum. And now it'll be first and second with one out.
Yeah, for those that aren't fans of the 3-2 outcome game, you've kind of got a bunch of walks on one side of this book, and then Braden Halliday, every ball has been put in play except for that one hit by pitch. But for the most part, generating a lot of soft contact, making it easier on his defense. But one out here, and now dealing with two men on.
Hunter Marsh lined out to left. That was that play where Dingus had to dive to his knees to make the play. That one fouled back against the screen. Definitely a spot where you'd love a weak ground ball double play. Looks back to second, now comes home with the breaking ball that was launched. A couple of outfielders are going to go out, and it is Josh Pagozzo making the catch out there along the wall in left center.
And there's that range from Pagozzo, and a little bit questionable that Jared White wasn't tagging, wasn't standing on second base. I mean, we know Pagozzo's got one heck of an arm, but it was going to be a tough throw for him to make coming off, bouncing off that wall out in left center field. Ultimately, the runners stay put, though.
Now head coach Mike McLeod is going to come out to the mound.
We'll see what he does here. There were some bodies moving in the bullpen, but we're never really sure if a pitching change is going to be made until he asks for the ball.
Yeah, right now it looks like there's definitely a discussion, and he's going to turn around and walk back to the dugout without taking the ball. Good go. After a high arcing fly ball like that took some air out of the balloon, I think maybe just to come out and give him a little bit of a rest or just give him a tip or two. I don't know.
Yeah, that was a big at-bat. We saw Fullwood line one into left field for a hit. He's right there in the middle of their order. Didn't start the first game, but we saw what he's capable of in that first plate appearance, and he is the tying run. So You just want to make sure Halliday is locked in here and doesn't give him a good pitch to hit.
Got that first pitch called a strike. Standing on that inside part of the batter's box. That one got him to fan and miss on that pitch. 0-2. Halliday looking for the put-away pitch. That one blocked in the dirt by Kreisen. And now the 1-2. Low again. So not getting Fullwood to offer at that pitch. Low. Might have to come back upstairs to him. Took a big hack at the last one up there. And now here is a 2-2 delivery. Kreisen trying to frame that one, but just too much outside to get that call. And after 0-2, Jalen Fullwood has the count full. The payoff pitch fouled straight back. 3-2 count with 2 outs. Runners are going. And they got the strike 3 called on the inside. Couple of runners on, but Braden Halliday leaves him there. Keeps his team in front with a 4-1 advantage headed to the bottom of the third. Back for the bottom of the third. Eagles looking to get on the other side of the slam. With their 4-1 lead, it will be Gwynn, Dinges, Kreisen, all to face Cade Mitchell a second time through.
We go, Brett!
First one to him is a strike. A bases loaded walk for Gwynn in the first. Picked up a run batted in. Swings under that one. Big swing on a pitch there, who puts it into left field for a leadoff single.
Yeah, stayed back on that breaking ball, drove it into left field. Really nice piece of hitting there from Brett Gwynn.
That'll bring up Marco Dinges, 2 RBI single in his first time. First one missing outside. So Mitchell faced 9 Eagles in the first, including 4 walks, and then put the 1-2-3 hitters down in order in the second. So maybe back to the other side of the Jekyll and Hyde, as that one is put into play for a base hit. It gets into the gap. Runner's going to head down to third and in safely. So Gwynn down to third. Dinges took a wide turn at first but stays. So now runners at the corners with nobody out for Ethan Kreisen.
Another big opportunity here. You've got the 3-run lead, but you saw in the last half inning, Chattahoochee Valley starting to make more contact, starting to put harder balls into play. You don't want to be content with that 3-run lead. You've got a great opportunity though here to add to it.
That one by Kreisen put high in the sky. Center fielder Lee's under it and squeezes it for out number 3. Runner from third thought about tagging, but Dinges ends up getting the second.
You know what Brett Gwynn did there, though, and I really think this was intentional. He broke hard off the bag to force the throw home, which gave Marco Dinges enough time to take that second base bag.
So very nifty, crafty base running. One of those things that might go unnoticed by some, but not by us up here in the booth.
Yeah, it's one of those things that doesn't show up in the box score. Doesn't even really show up in our scorebook, unless you're really paying attention to it.
And now Andrew Fernandez is coming out of the game. He'll be pinch hit for by Justin Cruz. First one to Cruz is low. So maybe just with the score where it's at, not wanting to keep Fernandez on his feet for the rest of the second game, perhaps?
It's possible. But Cruz played the whole first game as well, and now he's going to probably have to play the rest of this one, so it could just be something else.
Pitch outside makes it 3-0. Has Cruz played third base at all this year?
He has not, but it wouldn't shock me to see Mekhi Johnson slide over to third and Cruz play his more familiar second base spot. We'll wait and see, though.
That one misses low, ball 4, so 4-pitch walk to Justin Cruz. And now the bases are loaded once again.
You go 1-9. You got it. Here we go. Nobody better 1-9. Here we go.
Now Absher, the DH, walked his first trip. That first one is inside. Big swing and a miss at that one.
Do some damage out there. Here we go.
Here's the break even.
Yeah, good eye.
A little bit out. And that one, will it get down? It does in the gap in left center field, rolling all the way to the wall. 1 run scores. There's 2, and now 3. Bases clearing double for Caleb Absher. And now TCC leads 7-1.
Yeah, left fielder just didn't make a great, play on that ball. I don't know if it was catchable. I'll say that. But he came in on that one. There was no way he had any chance. That ball was lined. We know when Absher gets a hold of one, there's really no stopping it. Even if it doesn't leave the ballpark, it comes off the bat at a high velocity.
Gwynn, Dingus, Cruz all score. And now TCC's got a touchdown on the board. It's 7-1. Going to be pitching change for the Pirates. We'll tell you about the new arm when we come back. The new pitcher for Chattahoochee Valley, another lefty. This will be Skylar Brown. Cade Mitchell finishes with 2 1/3. 5 hits, 5 walks, 3 strikeouts. So far he's got 7 runs to his name, but he's responsible for Absher, who's standing at second with 1 out. Now it will be Mekhi Johnson at the plate. That first one missing, 1-0.
Yeah, another lefty. We've seen 3 lefties come out of the Chattahoochee Valley pitching staff today.
That one runs into him there. Catcher Purdue lost where it was. Now 2 balls, no strikes. Mackay, one of only 2 Eagles who have yet to reach base in this game. And that one is going to get behind him as Absher moves on down to third. That breaking ball misses high, and it will be a 4-pitch walk to Mackay Johnson. And now the lineup turns back over, and Jason Smakowski. So not a great sign when your reliever comes in with already a runner on and issues a 4-pitch walk. That one inside, and at 2-0. All 6 pitches for Skylar Brown have not been able to find the strike zone. That one does settle in. 3 balls and a strike to count to Jason Smakowski. Dave Mitchum is on deck. Runner goes, and that one is going to get through for a hit. A run comes across on an RBI single for Smakowski.
Keep it moving. You've got them on the ropes here. Pitchers are struggling. Well, let's continue to grow this lead. Maybe get out of here a little early today. And that's not me referencing. I knocked on wood just in case. That's not me referencing pace of play. That's a reference to the run rule. That is not a jinx. We'll knock on wood. I had my fingers crossed.
Mitchum 1 for 2 in game number 2. 0 for 1 as a pinch hitter in game 1. First one missing a bit high, and even if it's snibbling around the zone, the umpire is not going to give Skylar Brown any kind of benefit of the doubt right now. That one gets away from the catcher, Purdue. Both runners advance. Second wild pitch for Brown. And just his 3rd batter faced. Johnson down to 3rd. Smakowski to 2nd. As that 2-0 misses high. Working quickly on 3-0. And that one misses low, ball 4. And the bases are reloaded. 9th Eagle to come to the plate. In this 3rd, Josh Pagozzo was walked. Coach for the Pirates comes out to talk to Brown, and now his day is done. So another pitching change as he was not able to record any outs. We'll step aside once again.
Tallahassee Community College has been named as one of the top 10 community colleges in the nation. The Aspen Institute recognizes institutions from across the country that have exceptional achievements and a total commitment to improving student outcomes. The college was recognized as one of the nation's premier community colleges eligible to compete for the prestigious $1 million Aspen Prize for Community College Excellence because of its focus on student access and success, its workforce training initiatives, a seamless and high transfer rate to four-year colleges and universities, and its many varied and productive community partnerships. This recognition from the Aspen Institute is a testament to the wonderful work of the faculty, staff, and leadership at Tallahassee Community College.
So the new pitcher for the Pirates is going to be the man who was previously in right field. Jalen Fullwood will come in to pitch. JoJo Oldno is going to go out to play right, and it looks, Brett, that because you bring in someone from the field to replace the pitcher, it looks like Chattahoochee Valley is losing the DH.
Yeah, I mean, but right now you've got 9 position players because Fullwood's was already in the lineup and already had a hit. And it'll be interesting to see what they do with that spot in the lineup. You might be at a point on third game of this series, you're down by a few runs now, where you just let that pitcher get in that bat if they've got any experience hitting, as long as it's not an injury risk. I don't know how many more guys they've got on their bench on their traveling squad.
That one gets away, and a run is going to come in to score. First pitch for Fullwood was a wild one. Makai Johnson in from third. Smakowski over to third. Mitchum to second. That one put on the ground, and that one sneaks through. They're going to keep the runner at third. No, they're going to send him as the left fielder, Marsh, lost the ball. So a single for Pagozo, where 2 runs come across the score. I would imagine he'll only get 1 RBI on the E9 that allows Mitchum to score.
And now the Eagles have officially,
looks like 13:01. That's the run rule, right?
no, that's through 5. I'm saying they've batted around now.
Gotcha. Missed that one. This will be the 10th Eagle to come to the plate. Brett Gwynn, his second at-bat of the inning, as that one is going to hit him. And things are getting a little ugly here. Marco Dinges, 2 for 2. He's got a 2-run single. Runners in first and second with still only 1 out. And that one gets away from the catcher Purdue, and the runners will advance once more.
Digis already 2 for 2 with 2 base hits and a run scored.
That one fouled straight back. (11-1) your score. I think I had said 13 earlier. That one skied foul. Got a hold of that one. Couple outfielders converge. Center fielder Lee has it, but the runner from third tags up. It's called a sacrifice fly for Marco Dinges, his third run batted in of the day.
And if Kreisen can find a way to score here, every Eagle in this lineup will have scored in this inning.
That would be a sight to behold. So now Ethan Kreisen, who's got 2 flouts to center on the day. A lot resting on his shoulders in this at-bat as that first one misses. Gets a strike called there to even it at 1-1.
We saw a 10-run inning that broke our scoreboard a couple of weeks ago.
There's another strike called.
And yeah, TCC threatening to put up 10 here in the third. They've got Brett Gwynn at third.
It's the 12th batter in the inning. That one misses outside, just barely gloved by Purdue. And that one put into play. The pitcher Fullwood can't get to it. Now the shortstop can't get there either. And now another run comes across.
That one's Brett Gwynn's second run of the inning to make it a 10-run inning. I think we should have some sort of giveaway or something for that.
Confetti, cannons, fireworks. We need something.
9-run inning. So we still need that 10th run to come from Ethan Kreisen, which would make every single batter in this lineup pick up a run.
You calling that an infield single for Kreisen?
And look at this. I don't know if I've seen this before. Another pinch hitter coming in the same spot of the lineup.
Oh, my goodness, you're right.
In the same inning.
Aiden Keenan replaces Justin Cruz. We're having all kinds of firsts here at Eagle Field. Keenan only 6 at-bats on the year, looking for his first hit.
I think that would solve your defensive replacement, too, with Aiden Keenan playing third base.
There you go. Misses outside. You can tell the Eagle dugout is excited to potentially get Keenan his first successful at-bat of the year. Does have a run knocked in and a walk. That one is called a strike. And that one is going to get down for a hit. His first of the year.
Love to see that from the Eagle dugout. You can hear the cheers. You know, even in a 13-1 game, there's still, little small victories to be had. There's still work to be done. And if you want to get out of here a little bit early, you got to turn around on the other side and pitch well, play good defense. If you don't want to play the full 7, you can Got the rest of your Saturday afternoon ahead of you. No games tomorrow. Get your day off before back at the ballpark on Monday.
14th Eagle to come to the plate as Caleb Absher takes a big hack at that one and fouls it out of play. He's got a bases clearing double. If you're like me, good luck trying to score all of this in your book.
I moved it over to the 12th inning because I'm willing to wager we won't see 12 innings played. So I'm keeping it in that slot.
I never considered it, but that's a good place. I just moved it over to the 4th, but of course that convolutes everything moving forward.
Now you're all messed up.
That's exactly right. So trying to make sense of everything going on here. As that one is on the ground, and that's good for another hit. Runner at third holds, and the bases are once again loaded for what, maybe the third or fourth time in this inning?
And the second time this inning that the Eagles have strung together 3 consecutive base hits.
There you go. And now Mekhi Johnson comes back. Walked in this inning.
I actually take that back because this scorebook is wrapping around. I don't know left and right because the inning was led off with a single by Brett Quinn, and then ultimately Pagozzo singled when it came up to him.
Breaking ball drops in for a strike.
Johnson still looking for his first hit
Of the day.
Only spot in the lineup without a hit.
And swings and misses at that pitch to finally bring this inning to an end. It is now 13-1 as we head to the 4th. Top of the 4th here at Eagle Field. TCC with a 13-1 lead. Halliday still on the mound, and I'll pass it back to Brett Rutherford.
Yeah, we saw all sorts of things in that bottom of the 3rd. 9 runs on 8 hits. 1 error and 3 left. A little bit too much meat on the bone left, I'd say. We saw 2 pinch hitters enter in the same spot in the lineup as Cruz pinch hit for Andrew Fernandez, and then later that inning, Aiden Keenan pinch hit for Justin Cruz.
I feel like we need someone from the Guinness Book of World Records here to just make sure all of this is tallied and recorded.
It is Braden Halliday back on the mound in the fourth. A couple defensive replacements in the aftermath of those substitutions as Makai Johnson moves from second to third. Aiden Keenan remains in the game to play second base. This one misses low, so it's 2-1 the count now to Corey Lee. As far as I can tell, the outfield has stayed the same. Dendris, Pagoso, and Mitchum. Corey Lee cuts and misses there. So 2-2 the count. Halliday coming off of his longest outing of the season, going 5 innings in a start against the Thomas University JV squad. Now working into the 4th inning here with a comfortable lead, I'd say. Strike 3 called right on the outside black. And Braden Halliday has his second strikeout of the game.
Back-to-back and both looking.
You could say back-to-back, but nothing about that strikeout feels like it was back-to-back. I think we had a 30-plus minute inning there.
I guess that's true.
That'll bring up Braden Pelkey, who singled back in the second and was stranded at second. You know, he was stranded, but they were able to get him back in the dugout. He wasn't stuck out there for long. I'm sure there's food and water. Front door breaking ball called for strike 1. Oh, and public address announcer, Mr. Sean, hooking me up with a Gatorade, making sure I stay hydrated.
It's important
during this lengthy afternoon doubleheader. Called strike 2, so 0-2 the count to Braden Pelkey. This one hit to the shortstop, Smikowski. Fields it on a hop over to first for out number 2.
And Halliday certainly making some friends right now, getting some quick outs, keeping this game moving.
Purdue was hit by a pitch in his first time up. And his first pitch swinging, fouls one back. Halliday delivers. High into the air, second baseman Keenan and Gwynn underneath it. It is Gwynn that comes down with it for out number 3. So a quick 1-2-3 inning for Braden Halliday. We move into the bottom of the 4th. Eagles leading 13-1 on TCCEagles.com. All right, so a couple of changes here going into the bottom of the fourth. But 2 players remain in the game. JoJo Oldno, who entered the game last inning to take over in right field, is now in the game to pitch. And the pitcher, Jalen Fullwood, goes right back out to right where he started the game. So this is where things might get tricky in our scorebook. I scratched out Fullwood's name in right field, and now scratching out Oldno's name to go back to Fullwood.
And how do you think he feels switching back and forth? That's got to be kind of an odd feeling as well.
Well, yeah, and if I would say to him, if he wanted to stay in the game on the mound, he probably should have pitched a little better. It was a rough outing for Fullwood, but he ultimately got him out of it, something that the 2 previous pitchers failed to do.
Yeah, it's true. Skylar Brown faced, 3 batters without recording an out.
All 3 of those batters scored, so I'm now finally updating those lines. Smikoski sends one into right field. It is Fullwood underneath it. And a quick out for JoJo Oldno. We'll bring up Dave Mitchum. So Fullwood finishes with 2/3 innings pitched. And 2 earned runs given up. And that one hits Mitchum.
Home plate umpire comes to say a few words to the pitcher, Oldno, as does the catcher, Purdue.
Now batting number 15, Josh Pagozo.
Bring up Pagozo now with Mitchum on first and 1 man out. Pagozo 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. 2 runs scored. He takes this one for strike 1. This is outside, that breaking ball to make it 1-1.
What do you think about this delivery from Oldno?
Well, it's a little different, but hey, whatever works for him. It's a sidearm, not quite submarine, but
Kind of like a short arm sidearm too.
yeah, I've seen it before, but it's definitely rare. One, two, the count to Pagozo. Takes one low. This is his 4th trip to the plate in 4 innings. He sits back on the breaking ball, but maybe a little too long on it, and fouls it off. Depending on the score line, the Eagles potentially 3 outs away from taking this game in this series. This one sent into center field, but Lee looks to be underneath it, and he is for out number 2. Which will bring up first baseman Brett Gwynn.
For the 3rd time in 2 innings?
Yeah, he is getting his fair share of plate appearances here. Scored twice in the 3rd. Now back to hitting from the left side. I guess he was hit by a pitch from the left side when Fullwood was in the game. This one taken for strike 1. He scored 3 runs in the game, which are just a fraction of the total runs put up on the board by the Eagles this afternoon. This one misses high, 1-1 the count. Tallahassee won game 1 of this series by a score of 11-4. Chattahoochee Valley took game 2 earlier today by a score of 6-4. Gwynn swings and fouls this one back. But it's been smooth sailing to this point for Tallahassee in the rubber match. A chance to get out of here a little bit early. If they can stay up by at least 10 runs through 4.5 innings. Gwynn, that one gets by the catcher, Purdue, and Mitchum easily moving over to second there on the wild pitch. Quite a few of those this afternoon.
Yeah, probably maybe 4, and you add in the pass ball.
Lots of free bases between that and the walks. Gwynn takes this, strike 3 called, and that will retire the side. So Mitchum reaches on a hit by pitch, moves over into scoring position on the wild pitch, but doesn't come around to score. We're through 4, Eagles leading 13-1 on TCCEagles.com.
Tallahassee Community College has been named as one of the top 10 community colleges in the nation. The Aspen Institute recognizes institutions from across the country that have exceptional achievements and a total commitment to improving student outcomes. The college was recognized as one of the nation's premier community colleges eligible to compete for the prestigious $1 million Aspen Prize for Community College Excellence because of its focus on student access and success, its workforce training initiatives, a seamless and high transfer rate to four-year colleges and universities, and its many varied and productive community partnerships. This recognition from the Aspen Institute is a testament to the wonderful work of the faculty, staff, and leadership at Tallahassee Community College.
And we're back here on TCCEagles.com in the top of the 5th. Eagles leading 13-1. Harper McClendon enters the game for Marco Dinges, moves over to right. Dave Mitchum slides over to left, and I'm going to pass it on over to William Haynes to maybe potentially wrap this one up today.
Hopefully. The lefty Jack Thunberg takes over for Braden Halliday. Halliday finishes with 1 run on 5 hits, 4 total innings of work, no walks, 2 strikeouts. It's not his best outing of the year, but probably maybe number 2. And Jack Thunberg coming in now 0-1 on the year in over 8 innings of work with a 540 earned run average. Will face Brendan York to start things off. Hartman, as you've been able to tell, plenty of substitutions made throughout the course of this one, gets a strike called there. As far as we know, 3 outs left to get in this game. That one put on the ground. Can the second baseman get there? He can. Keenan's throw to first in time.
Really nice play from Aiden Keenan, moving over, slide into his left. And like I said, even though you've got a really healthy lead here, Aiden Keenan doesn't get a lot of at-bats, doesn't get a lot of innings in the field. He's got to make the most of these opportunities and try to produce as much as he can and maybe pick up some more opportunities for himself down the road.
Fouled out of play.
So here's our, he entered the game as a defensive replacement in right field, then came into pitch.
JoJo Oldno. Swing and a miss there. Tallahassee looking for another series victory. This was the rubber match of the 3-game set between these two schools, as that one is put into right. Harper McClendon is over there, and he makes the grab for out number 2. And now the Chattahoochee Valley Pirates are down to their final out. And now it will be Kaysen Emerson coming in to pinch hit for Brant Dearman. Swings and misses at that pitch. And that one drops in for a strike as well. So quickly now, a 0-2 count for Jack Thunberg, looking to close this one out. And that's it. Strike 3 called to end the inning, and it looks like the ball game as well. Jack Thunberg goes out in front of the dugout for high fives and handshakes. The rest of the team coming in as well, so the run rule in effect. 13-1 is your final. Looks like for the visiting Pirates, 1 run on 5 hits, 2 errors. For the Eagles, 13 runs on 11 hits, no errors for them. The pitcher of record for TCC will actually be Jack Thunberg getting the win. Halliday only went 4, but a nice outing for him. And getting the loss for the Pirates is Cade Mitchell. This game included a 9-run third where 15 Eagles come to the plate. All kinds of offensive domination, Brett. And as I said before, another series victory.
Yeah, they took advantage of not only the bad command from Chattahoochee Valley in this game, but also some defensive miscues. Took extra bases, kept their foot on the gas, and really weren't disheartened after dropping game 1. Really good pitching from Braden Halliday, a lot like his start on Monday. Just pounded the zone, let his defense make plays, and even when he got into a little bit of trouble, just trusted in stuff and got the outs necessary to get us out of here at an early time. We can go enjoy the rest of our Saturday and the rest of our weekend before coming back here Monday for another doubleheader.
Absolutely. So the Eagles will take tomorrow off. They've got a doubleheader against Grand Rapids Community College. Also, if you're an Eagles fan, be on the lookout for next Wednesday, where the men's basketball team is playing their first game in the Florida State tournament. So for Brett Rutherford, I'm William Haynes, our broadcast engineer Noah Hapner. This has been another presentation of TCC Baseball.
I told her, I was like, no, I got here today.